Basketball. U.S. Bank. Equal housing lender. Member FDIC. Live from the Hyatt Regency, here is your host, Rob Brooks.
Well, postseason basketball. Here come the Iowa Hawkeyes with March Madness officially starting on Friday up in Minneapolis at the Target Center. With yesterday's victory over second-ranked Ohio State, the Hawkeyes and Caitlyn Clark are their number 2 seed in the Big Ten tournament. And let's jump the gun on March Madness with this evening and the Lisa Bluder Show. Hi, everybody. Hawk Talk live from the Hyatt Regency and the Iowa River Landing in Coralville. Welcome to the season finale of Coach Bluder's Hawk Talk. I am not Rob Brooks.
What? What?
I know you're shocked, Coach.
Yeah.
I'm Gary Dolphin filling in for Robbo. He's not worn out from yesterday's rousing, breathtaking atmosphere at Carver Hawkeye Arena, where the Hawkeyes took out the Buckeyes 93-83. How about a round of applause for that? Robbie's vocal cords are just fine. He's in Chicago. He's watching his son Blair in a professional track and field meet. There's a professional track and field league that travels the country. They base themselves out of New Jersey, and they're in Chicago, and that's the closest they come to Iowa City. So Rob asked to go watch his son Blair. I think he's a pole vaulter, if I heard that right. But we wish the Brooks family safe travels. Coach Bluder, I feel like I'm on the Summer iClub speaking tour, where we usually have several hundred maniacal, crazy Hawk fans cheering and yelling. Good to be with you. Good to see you again.
It's good to have you here. Thanks for filling in. I appreciate it very much, Dolph.
We've had great turnouts for the Bluder Show. I just come here and kind of hide out in the crowd from the 6 to 7 o'clock hour every week, and why not? Where do we start? How about Senior Day for Caitlyn Clark and Kate Martin, Gabby Marshall, and Molly Davis? Unfortunately, couldn't finish the game. But talk about those 4 seniors for a minute.
Would love to, but you know something, I'm going to start with Molly Davis because I know everybody's kind of wondering what happened today with Molly and her injury, and I am so thankful to tell you there is no ACL tear. So we are very thankful about that. There was a lot of prayers going out last night for her, and we were ecstatic when we got that news this morning. So she has suffered a pretty severe injury, though, to her kneecap, but it is not season-ending, and there will be no surgery required. But she won't be available this week, unfortunately, and that's going to be tough going into the Big Ten tournament, knowing that we've lost the 75 minutes in those 3 games that we could potentially play, and we got to find 75 minutes somewhere, and so that's tough to do anyway. 3 days, 3 games, 3 days. That's tough. And now you take away one of your starters. That's a lot of minutes to make up. But we're so thankful that, and we're just hopeful that with a little bit of luck and a lot of rehab, that she will be back in time for the NCAA tournament.
Oh, that's terrific news.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah. So, Molly Davis, comes out in a wheelchair for senior night recognition. That was not what we wanted to see. But Kate Martin, 6 years here, and still doesn't want to go. I just love that kid. She's going to be a great coach. That's what she wants to do someday. Of course, Caitlyn Clark surpasses Pete's record yesterday and becomes the all-time leading scorer ever, men or women. So that was incredibly exciting. But to me, it was so special to have Lynette Woodard there.
Absolutely.
And being able to, you guys, in the crowd, everybody just gave her such the attention that she so richly deserved, having that record for so long and playing in an era where the NCAA didn't recognize her achievements. I'm so glad that you guys, you Hawkeye fans, recognized her in a way that was so classy. And so thank you for that. Gabby Marshall, she's playing great basketball right now. The last 2 games this week, she hit 8 threes in those 2 games. Love that girl. She's, came back for her 5th year too. Just a wonderful human being. And Sharon Goodman, you don't get any better than that as far as just a wonderful person. She's going to go on and become a nurse. It's really hard to do nursing and play basketball at the Division I level. So she's going to go on and continue her schooling in that area, and she will be a wonderful caregiver. There's no doubt in my mind.
Terrific, yeah.
Great 5 seniors, boy.
And we're going to talk about Caitlyn a lot tonight,
Yeah,
certainly.
of course.
26-4, 15-3 in the Big Ten, the number 2 seed in the conference tournament field. And I bring up those numbers because you guys came into the season with a target on your back. I mean, Caitlyn saw more defensive sets than Steph Curry, for crying out loud. But you and your staff had a solid game plan every night out. How do you sum up 26-4 and 15-3? I mean, it's remarkable.
Yeah, it really is fun to think back on the year and, you know, how it got all started in the crossover in Kinnick and almost 56,000 people there to watch that game. And that kind of kicked everything off for us. But, you know, 26-4 is unbelievable, but this team is not done. They are not done. They, you know, senior night, it was just kind of like, okay, let's move on to the Big Ten tournament now. And they feel very confident going in as the number 2 seed. We've been the number 2 seed the last 2 years where we've won it all. It's not easy, and especially this year, the Big Ten tournament is just, it's compressed so much because the first game that we'll play in 5:30 on Friday night, we'll be playing the winner of Wisconsin versus Penn State. And then the next day, if we get by that game, we'll be playing at 3:30. And then if we get by that, the next day we're playing at 11 a.m. Plus, we've lost an hour of sleep because it's daylight savings time. That is a 10 a.m. game for the championship game. Unheard of.
I didn't realize
CBS has set the time, and so, you know, it's not like an advantage for one team over the other. It's just a shame for both teams that both teams won't have the proper rest, the proper recovery, and then you worry about injuries and those sort of things happening to our athletes. So not real happy about it. There's nothing we can do about it, and we'll just go out and do our best. We just hope we get the opportunity to play, you know, Sunday at 11 a.m.
If you get to Sunday at 11 a.m., and I think you will, the adrenaline with those veterans and with number 22, I think you'll be just fine. I didn't know it was daylight savings.
And then daylight savings, yeah, of all things,
what are they
right?
thinking, for crying out? You didn't get a call on that.
I didn't. They didn't ask me. Yeah.
Well, CBS, obviously, the record ratings for television. I mean, I'm partial to the Hawkeye Radio Network.
Sure.
But the record TV ratings will continue to rise and to post new highs with this weekend. I know the tournament is sold out.
First time ever women's tournament has ever been sold out in the Target Center. So that's amazing. And I know there's going to be a lot of black and gold there. I don't have any confirmation on that, but I know there's going to be a tremendous amount of black and gold, and very excited to go up to Minneapolis again and hopefully again have a great showing.
With that, I want to give out, we got a great crowd here as always.
Absolutely.
Beautiful Hyatt
thank
Regency.
you so much for coming out tonight.
Well, give yourself a hand for coming out every week.
It's amazing. We're so thankful for everybody that listens and everybody that comes out in person. And I know this is our last show of the year, so thanks for coming out and joining us on Mondays. We really greatly appreciate it.
Indeed. For you folks listening in on the Hawkeye Radio Network, 55 stations strong. This is Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder, presented by Oak Knoll from the Hyatt Regency in Coralville and Learfield. And we've got a toll-free number if you'd like to join us on the program tonight, 877-464-2957, 1-877-464-2957. And I'm going to throw out my Twitter handle and Facebook post. If you'd like to check in on Twitter or Facebook, we'll take your questions. This is the new thing, I guess, on social media, the Twitter and Facebook.com/.
I wouldn't know how to do it, but go ahead.
Yeah, whatever. Here it is. You can reach us at Twitter, on Twitter, at Gary Dolphin, and at Facebook.com/Voice of the Hawkeyes. So Caitlyn sails past the legendary Pistol Pete Maravich, and I've called Caitlyn the Annie Oakley of college basketball, bullseye, sharpshooter. But I was in high school, and I watched Pistol Pete.
Yeah.
There was nobody like Pistol Pete Maravich, just like there's nobody like Caitlyn Clark.
Yeah.
And I think you were old enough to watch Pete Maravich. And their games are so similar, particularly passing the basketball.
Yeah, that's what I think. That doesn't get enough credit for Caitlyn's game. I mean, everybody talks about the logo threes, and they're absolutely spectacular. You know, you could have a highlight reel of those, but it's her passing. And again, yesterday, you know, she had 12 assists at Minnesota, and yesterday she led us with 9 assists. I mean, people don't understand how hard that is to do. She leads the country in assists. I mean, amazing. So, I mean, to me, I've seen it lot of those logo threes over the last 4 years, but and I still appreciate them, but I really appreciate her passing. And then now the whole different crew this year, you know, a different center, different people around you. You got to get used to that, and she's still doing it.
35 points, 9 assists. How many rebounds she have? Like she had half a dozen or 7, like that, close to it.
Yeah, yesterday she had 6. Hannah Stalkey led us with 9, including 6 offensive rebounds yesterday. Really glad we, out-rebounded Ohio State 38-31. You know, we lost the rebounding war at their place, and that was important. We talked about we got to keep them off the glass. They have 7 offensive rebounds. We have 11, so that was good to see.
Second chance points.
Yep.
There's not a better stat on that sheet. And like Fran McCaffrey, Lisa Bluder will tell you, if you can win the battle of the boards, you got a chance every night.
It's all about possessions, and I tell my team this all the time. We're the #1 team in the country in points per possession. So as long as we have more possessions than our other team, we're going to win this game. How do you control possessions? It's by limiting turnovers and rebounds. That's how you control possessions. So as long as we win those 2 areas, there's a likely chance we're going to win the game.
Personality-wise, Caitlyn and Pete are a lot alike because, back in Pete Maravich's day, freshmen were not eligible.
Right.
So he played 3 years.
Yep.
And we've heard this ad nauseum, no three-point line, no shot clock. Okay, different game.
Yep.
Fast forward. But Caitlyn, Pete, when they would enter, Pete usually, I think LSU got on TV maybe 4 times all season. There's 1 or 2 networks that would televise games, and everybody was clamoring for Pete Maravich like they are for Caitlyn Clark. Caitlyn, every game's on TV or on social media. That's the wonderful thing about today's media. But she is as gracious and humble and grounded as Pete Maravich was. It's just been a great story on and off the court.
Oh, I agree. Caitlyn is the first person in press conferences to credit her teammates, and they genuinely, care about her so much, and that speaks to her character because there could be so many jealousies. There could be so much, jealousy basically about her getting all the attention and all these awards and stuff, and there is not, and that's because she is such a great teammate, and so people recognize her, teammates recognize that, and they're genuinely happy for all the success that she has.
Well, before we take our first break, the Stars came out to see Clark and the Hawks in the regular season finale. I thought it was terrific. Her hero, Maya Moore, the former Minnesota Lynx, multiple WNBA champion superstar, UConn Husky, was there. Lynette Woodard, whose career point total Caitlyn passed a week ago. You mentioned that. One of the great Major League Baseball pitchers of all time, if not the greatest, Nolan Ryan. I saw Dave's post on Twitter about that. And we were laughing before we went on the air.
Dave has Twitter? I didn't know that.
Well, maybe it was on Facebook. Well, maybe his buddy had Twitter. That's where I saw it yesterday afternoon. I go, how did Dave Bluder get a scoop?
I don't know.
I mean, really. Nolan must have walked right by him.
You lost me with Dave Bluder had Twitter. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
so.
Well, okay. Well, I don't have all the handles correct. It might have been, I don't know, maybe TikTok. Who knows? But, no, he wouldn't have TikTok, would he?
No, I don't think so.
Anyway, who in here doesn't know who Nolan Ryan is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody knows who Nolan Ryan is, yeah.
When I saw Nolan in the stands, I go, first thing I thought of was 7 no-hitters. 7 no-hitters, 27-year career, and 5,700 strikeouts.
Wow.
That's a record that'll never be topped. One of the great. And then
wait, but you know something else he has?
What?
He has 2 granddaughters. And he wanted to bring him to see Caitlyn and the Iowa Hawkeyes.
That's the angle. Outstanding. The Ryan Express. You and I were talking about Bob Gibson and Fergie Jenkins and, the Cubs-Cardinals battle. But Nolan Ryan, he was unapproachable. And he, like Caitlyn Clark, had a pretty good aim from 60 feet. I don't know if Caitlyn, that would be a step back logo 3.
Yes, it would.
But he had a cutting torch for an arm. I mean, that flame would go by and the umpire didn't even see the pitch. But he called it a strike typically. But anyway, Nolan Ryan, it was great to see him. And then I had to ask my 12-year-old granddaughter, who is Travis Scott, last night. And And I'm sure he's good, but I saw him come out on the floor in the picture with the girls and the ladies, and I said, who's that guy? Did he just run out on the floor and jump in the picture? But one of the great rappers.
I guess he is somebody. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't know.
Well,
I mean, yeah, he was there. I took a picture with him, but I couldn't tell you who he was or anything. So I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody, but
if we're not anything here, we're honest, right? We're honest. I know who Roy Orbison is, but I had no idea who Trev. Okay. Hawk Talk. We better step out and take a break here before we get too long, Coach. You can go out and mingle. Coach Bluder and Hawk Talk is sponsored by our friends at Oak Knoll from the Hyatt Regency in Coralville and Learfield. Tonight's show is also brought to you by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. The Hawks get to play at 5:30 Friday afternoon in Minneapolis against either Wisconsin or Penn State. We'll get to those scouting reports on tonight's Hawk Talk with Lisa Bluder. We'll take your phone calls on Twitter at Gary Dolphin and on Facebook at facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks. We've got them coming in. We've got 4 callers online. We'll get to those folks next. Thank you all for coming out. This is Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder and Learfield.
Nestled on the rolling greens of the iconic Finkbine Golf Course, Bumps Restaurant is open to the public year-round. Whether you're swinging by after a round of golf or just in the neighborhood, Bumps is your go-to spot for scrumptious sandwiches, shareable appetizers, and mouth-watering pizzas. Quench your thirst with our selection of local craft beers, or let our full bar serve you a refreshing cocktail to toast to your game, or just because it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Our happy hour from 2 to 6 p.m. is the perfect 19th hole. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram to catch our latest daily specials. And here's a little insider secret just for our radio listeners. Thursdays are not to be missed at Bumps Restaurant. It's BOGO Happy Hour. Buy one, get one free on select beverages from our happy hour menu. Whether you're a diehard golfer or just love a great meal with a view, Bumps Restaurant at Finkbine Golf Course is your destination. We're currently open Wednesday through Saturday. Swing on by today. Bumps at Finkbine Golf Course. Great food, great drinks, and the best views in town. See you at Bumps.
Hey, Hawkeyes, while you're hard at work in class or on the court, there's a team behind the scenes making sure that the power keeps going, the water keeps flowing, and the temps inside are just right. Introducing the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative. The collaborative is a public-private partnership between UI, NG, and Meridium. It delivers the funds UI needs to drive our academic and research excellence while optimizing campus utilities for a generation to come. Check it out at uiowaenergycollaborative.com.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Our mission at Oak Knoll is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, CEO. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served the Iowa City area for 57 years. Oak Knoll is located near University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hancher Auditorium, and downtown Iowa City. Visit our website at oakknoll.com to learn more. We're a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Go Hawks!
To anyone passing through our state, fields and fields of corn might be what they see. But the people who call Iowa home know it's so much more. Corn is ethanol, a homegrown, renewable fuel. Corn is delicious pork, beef, poultry, and dairy. Corn is in 4,000 products we rely on every day. So yeah, our highway views are full of corn, and we're proud of it. Because corn grows Iowa. Show your support for Iowa corn farmers at iowacorn.org/corngrowsiowa.
It's Hawk Talk with Iowa basketball coach Lisa Bluder. Welcome back to the Hyatt Regency in Coralville, the beautiful Hyatt Regency, freshly remodeled with the rooms. They're going to be opening up the new restaurant here in just a few days to a week, and we invite you to come on out. I know the staff here, led by Matt, and Kayla and Maddie, they're handing out some I think some discount certificates, or will be tonight, for you to come back to the beautiful new Hyatt Regency restaurant. 5-star caliber. The rooms are already remodeled. They've been doing the changeover here for a couple years now, and it's really terrific. For those of you here, you know that, you can see that, you can experience that. Make sure, if you haven't been to the Hyatt lately, please stop out this basketball season. The Iowa River Landing here in the Coralville Strip is right off First Avenue is an incredible transformation indeed. Dodge Street Tire and Auto, locally owned and operated, is voted the best in the area for the 10th consecutive year. Dodge Street Tire and Auto proudly supports Iowa women's basketball. Trust Dodge Street Tire for honest auto repair and the best deals on Goodyear and Toyo tires. Dodge Street Tire and Auto celebrating over 30 good years. Get the transition there. Good years. 30 good years on the corner of Dodge and Church Streets in downtown Iowa City. Caitlyn Clark named the Big Ten Basketball Player of the Week. What a shock. I mean, finally she wins one. Caitlyn Clark, what is that? 29th weekly award in Caitlyn's career. That's mind-boggling when you think about it. But how about this? Peyton Sanford is also the Big Ten Player of the Week. So we got them both.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
That's a rarity when the same school gets both men's and women's basketball Player of the Week. But she gets it for so much more than scoring points. We talked about her passing ability, but her court sense, the way she loads up teammates, rebounding, outstanding rebound, and you know what? She's become a shot blocker too. Not that she can't block shots, but she sneaks in from behind and rattles the cage of the opponents. She is fun to watch in a lot of areas.
7.3 rebounds average on the year, 85% free throw shooter. And I thought it was quite fitting that it was just a good old-fashioned free throw that she broke the record with yesterday instead of a logo 3. Why not? Let's get back to the fundamentals of this, folks.
For sure. Free throws are
have kids working on their free throws instead of those logo 3s.
That'll help, too. Let's go to I got a texter here. Lisa, I love watching the freshman from Nebraska shoot the ball. How did that recruiting process play out? Can she become Caitlyn's replacement? I don't know if we ever want to label anybody, put that kind of pressure. But he speaks of Tanner McCabe.
Taylor McCabe.
Taylor, Nebraska High School Player of the Year, right?
Yes, but she is a sophomore now. So she's been around this is her second year. And obviously she's getting more and more playing time all the time as the year goes on. We really challenged her with her defense over the summer. And she's worked hard. She put on a little bit of extra muscle, which is really nice. I was going to almost tell you how much weight, and I can't do that, so you never, no woman ever wants to let everybody know how much weight they put on. So
I get it.
So Taylor did put on some good muscle over the year, and she's really working hard at her defense, but she is an outstanding three-point shooter. Doesn't have the range. Nobody has the range that Caitlyn has, but very quick. And the thing that impressed us so much when we were recruiting her was how she had her feet set, and when she has the ball in her hands, it is automatically, it just goes up so quickly. Reminds me a little bit of Melissa Dixon. I don't know if you remember. Melissa Dixon was a great three-point shooter for us, and Taylor McCabe is the same way. So Taylor's going to have to really play an increased amount of minutes for us in this Big Ten tournament with Molly going out.
As is Kylie Feuerbach.
Yes.
Bob's here in the house tonight. He came up and wanted to mention Kylie's career high 4 steals. I loved her as a shooter when she first got here, transferred from Iowa State. And then she had the knee injury, but boy, is she coming on like gangbusters.
She had that knee injury last year, and you would not think of that. Like, she doesn't wear a brace, and you forget that she is only a year out from knee surgery.
For sure.
By the way she plays, that's remarkable. Usually it takes a year where they're kind of slower and just not as confident. But boy, Kylie just goes all out. And man, her arms are so long, and then those deflections she got yesterday, 4 steals and in the front of that zone, and so that was fun to see. Just a great young lady, and she was 4 for 8 from three-point range at Minnesota, and then yesterday ends up going 1 for 3, but again, the 4 steals were huge.
You mentioned Minnesota, and so let's go back to that game, which was a lopsided victory for the Hawkeyes against a very proud program at Williams Arena. How did that play into yesterday's performance?
Well, I just think we gained so much confidence playing at Minnesota. I mean, we shot the ball so well. 62% from the field, 56% from three-point range. We had 30 assists on only 12 turnovers. It was just one of those games where everything is clicking and people are coming off the bench. Taylor McCabe comes off, goes 5 for 7. Kylie, as we said, goes 4 for 8. Gabby Marshall, 4 for 7. So it was just pretty, it was just one of those kind of confidence things, really, with our team, I think. And I think it went into the Ohio State game. Now, we didn't shoot the ball as well, but we still shot nearly 40% from three-point range yesterday and had 20 assists in that game. So it was nice that we were able to get a lot of people in that Minnesota game, save our legs a little bit for this Ohio State game.
All right, now Jeff's here in the crowd tonight, and I'm doing this tongue in cheek a little bit, but he wants to know, to ask. I said, I don't know if Coach can comment on this, but because I know if Fran were sitting here, he'd love to. But Jeff says, why the bigger the game, the worse the referee? Now, I'm just here to ask the questions. I have a lot of good friends who are officials, and you do too, but the end of that first half was almost distressing.
Well, at least they called it technical on, and we got the 4 free throws, and then
I thought the Hawks had an 11-point lead at the half.
I know, and then they waved off Hannah's basket when we went to the locker room, and I haven't seen it yet. I should have. I've just been really busy today with recruits and stuff, and so I haven't had the time to look at that particular play and see how it played out, but it was 0.3 seconds. I thought she tipped it off. I thought it looked like it was good, so it surprised me, but it still gave us great momentum going in the locker room that we had 4 straight free throws and then that tip in. It was like, it just felt good going into the locker room, which is always good, have that momentum.
And that energy parlayed into the second half. It really did start, especially, they cut it right. Ohio State's one of those teams.
Oh, they're not going away.
Oh, man. They're hanging around, but the Hawks played well with the lead. All right, before we go to a break, let's go to Karn in North Liberty, 877-464-2957 if you'd like to join us on Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder. Hi, Karn.
Hi, Gary. It's nice to talk to you.
Yeah, nice to hear you. You go back to the old days at Carlos O'Kelly's with Hawk Talk with Kirk Ferentz and Steve Alford and Todd Licklider. Good to hear from you, Karn.
Yeah, I listen to you and Bobby all the time while I'm watching the game, even when I'm there.
Thank you. You're well informed.
I'm too old to walk up and down those steps to come down and say hi. So I just
we
look over and
appreciate your support, Karn. Yeah, indeed. Go ahead.
Anyway, Lisa, wish you the very best in the tournament. And next year is going to be different without Caitlyn. Do you think that maybe these last few years have brought more people into finding out that women's basketball is really interesting, and we will draw more people into watching without Caitlyn? And also, did you get to watch very much of the girls' tournament?
Jan was at the state tournament for one day, so she was there on Thursday, I believe it was. She was there able to see that, and let's see. Will people come back? I hope so. I think people have been exposed to our style of play, which was like this before Caitlyn got here. And people weren't making logo threes, but, we have always been a team that shoots the ball a really high percentage, shares the ball, plays an exciting up-tempo style. And so my goal is that, my hope is that people have been exposed to our team and our style through Caitlyn, but will continue to support us even after Caitlyn. So that's the goal. That's the goal.
Well, obviously I don't get to many of your games because I'm traveling or with the men's team, but I listen to Robbo a lot and Tiffany and get to watch games on TV when I can. I can promise you that these people, Hawk fans, will be back next year and
I hope so. I really do. These women work so hard, and they really appreciate your support, and they deserve it, in my opinion. So, hopefully.
Who wouldn't come out and watch Hannah Stolke?
Oh, isn't she fun to watch?
And we talked about Taylor and Kylie, and you've got
Sid,
an incredible
Falter, playing so well.
Great recruiting class coming in.
We have a great recruiting class, ranked in the top 10 in the country coming in. So
we'll talk more about that in just a minute. Annie, Pat, and Larry on the phone. Hang on. Jennifer's on Twitter. We'll get to her question next here on Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder. Presented by Oak Knoll, here from the Hyatt Regency in Learfield.
You know that UI ranks near the top of the EPA's Green Power Leaderboard with 84% of our energy coming from renewable sources. Now you can be a part of the team that makes it happen. The University of Iowa Energy Collaborative, our partner in a collaborative, ENGIE North America, is now offering part-time, on-campus positions where you can get hands-on, career-inspiring experience in sustainable utility systems management. Check out the jobs and apply now at uiowaenergycollaborative.com.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. While farmers work hard to grow the best crop, their Iowa corn checkoff investments are hard at work too. Opening local and global markets for corn and corn-fed products, educating drivers on unleaded 88 as the best fuel at the pump, finding new uses for corn, and sharing the farmer's story. Iowa corn farmers are backed by researchers, educators, market experts, and more. To keep corn growing Iowa.
Around here, Jack Frost nips more than just your nose. That's why the Midwest gets Honda. Dependable, all-wheel drive, with heated steering wheel and seats to keep Jack Frost off your seat, which will make it very happy. And since it's no fun to gas up in this weather, isn't it cool that Honda has such legendary fuel efficiency? New Hondas are arriving, but so is Mr. Frost, so see your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest.
Our mission at Oak Knoll is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, CEO. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served the Iowa City area for 57 years. Oak Knoll is located near University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hancher Auditorium, and downtown Iowa City. Visit our website at oakknoll.com to learn more. We're a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Go Hawks!
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through!
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel, good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to the Hyatt Regency in the Iowa River Landing in Coralville. Beautiful Iowa River flowing by our front door. And this is Hawk Talk with Lisa Bluder. Gary Dolphin pinch hitting for Rob Brooks tonight. And we're sponsored by Oak Knoll. Oak Knoll's mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through Life Care, a not-for-profit life plan community serving the Iowa City area for 57 years. Our friends at Oak Knoll are conveniently located near the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, and downtown Iowa City. Proud presenting sponsor of Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder, that is Oak Knoll. Visit oakknoll.com and learn more. And we're sponsored by Iowa Corn throughout the Iowa Corn Cyhawk series. Iowa Corn promotes values that are uniquely Iowan. They'll be out in the fields here in just a few weeks. Our farmers, on behalf of Iowa's corn farmers, we salute all athletes for their hard work and determination, both on and off the field. Just like our athletes, our state leads the nation in corn and ethanol production. Follow Iowa Corn on Facebook and learn how corn grows Iowa. Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder. We're here at the Hyatt Regency in the beautiful Iowa River Landing, and thanks to Matt Tretow for hosting us all season long. The new restaurant here at the Hyatt will be opening up soon, and Matt came by and dropped off a couple of the new menus: baked onion soup, bacon corn chowder soup.
Yeah.
That's a hit here right now. A full complement of salads. How about some of the new sandwiches, Coach? Now it's named the Watermill Restaurant. Watermill Smash Burger. That sounds like that'll fill you up for the day. Buttermilk fried chicken.
Ooh. That's now. Do they have these available now, or is this?
This is coming to the Watermill Kitchen
coming.
and Bar.
Okay, all right, something to look forward to.
No, Matt says no. We don't have it now.
Not yet.
But,
Okay.
Don't order it tonight.
Okay.
Turkey Reuben, and my favorite, the grilled 3 cheese.
Because 2 isn't enough.
Yes, cheddar, provolone, and Munster. That M-U-E-N-S. That must be a good German cheese. Green garlic butter and Tuscan bread.
Woo.
Wow.
That sounds good.
Low-cal here at the Watermill Restaurant. All right. Coach Bluder with us. We've got all kinds of questions. Let's go back to the phones. We'll take one on the telephone. Annie's been waiting in Brooklyn. Hi, Annie. Is that Brooklyn, Iowa, or Brooklyn, New York?
Brooklyn, New York.
All right, New York. New York. Well, go ahead with your call. Good to hear from you, Annie.
You know, we drink a lot of coffee here, too, you know.
A lot of coffee, yeah. Don't get Pacino on my butt.
Remembers me, but I called in about a month or so ago, and we had a great conversation, and I explained how I went to college in Iowa, met my husband, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I just wanted to just wish you a lot of good luck, because this is the last show of the season, and I just wanted to get through and wish you a lot of good luck with the upcoming tournaments. And yesterday, Senior Day, was just so emotional, and we got to watch everything here in New York, and I just really think your program and what you've done is so admirable, and you're such a class act, and I just wanted to wish you good luck, because it's the last show of the season.
Thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate your...
I don't know if you remember me, but I called about a month ago.
Yep. I do remember it. Appreciate your kind words, and we might be out in Albany. Who knows if we can get by 2 games? You never know.
I just want to wish you a lot of good luck with the list, like I said, the list show of the season. And I really appreciate how you paid tribute to Lynette Woodard yesterday and mentioned that us from the 70s also played ball.
That was a thrill to me to have Lynette there.
I was so moved by that. I was so... How the whole thing was done yesterday was just so classy and just couldn't have been any better. And I just really appreciate your comments about Lynette Woodard, how that just, you know, I played in the 70s and I played in Iowa, and I just really appreciate that you acknowledge that. So.
Thanks, Annie.
Thanks for the call, Annie.
Appreciate it very much.
Listen,
great to hear from you.
You're the best.
Thanks, Annie. Don't you just love that New York accent? I mean, I just... She had to be in West Side Story. I know she was in West Side Story with Sal Mineo. She is a sweetheart. Thanks, Annie. Keep calling. Pat is in Minnesota, where the Big Ten tournament is this weekend at the Target Center. Hi, Pat. Good evening.
Thanks for taking my call. And
you bet.
You mentioned once again what a fantastic job Lisa has done, as well as the other coaches, and also, of course, the kids. I did have a question, though, for Lisa. And I wanted to ask her about these moving picks. I remember watching the old Bobby Knight Indiana Hoosiers, and I just get so upset because I see all these moving screens, and they wouldn't call them. And I'm seeing a little bit of that now again this year, like in the IU game. I remember Molly getting blocked out with a moving pick the first 3 they hit in the Indiana game, and also I saw some of that in the Ohio State game. And I'm just wondering if a coach mentions these things for the referees to look out for before the game, does that help at all? And then I just wanted to mention that I got so tired of all these comparisons with Pistol Pete Maravich, and I'm old enough, I watched a lot of Pistol Pete on TV, and of course I watched all of Lisa's teams on TV every time they're on. But I wanted to I would get upset with these comparisons. I'd like to enjoy a generation player, each generation player. Pete was a generation player. Caitlyn's obviously a generation player. I hate the comparisons. I remember Pistol Pete took twice as many shots. His dad was the coach, and that whole team was set up for Pistol Pete to get his points. So it's not a fair comparison, and I don't like the comparisons anyway. But again, I'd like to see if Lisa... I think we've gotten your point on that.
I think we got that figured out, Pat. You don't like the comparisons. Caitlyn's a multi-generational player, as Pistol Pete was, and So, I don't like the comparisons. They're so difficult anyway. But that's the world. That's the media world we live in now.
And Pat, thank you for calling and also for talking about the moving screens. You're right. There was so many in the Indiana game that we call. And we send them in, and they say, oh, yeah, that was a moving screen. But it doesn't do you any good, a day later. And to me, we talk about it with the officials afterwards, and they're saying, well, they're not running into them. But they clearly are running into them, and that's what's frustrating to me. For it to be a moving screen, the screener can move, but if the screener moves and we run into it, it's a foul. But if we avoid it, as you teach them, avoid the screen, then it's not a moving screen. And so basically they're telling you got to run into them in order for it to be a moving screen, which seems like kind of crazy, because if you run into them and then they score and they don't call it, then you're out of luck there too. So it's hard, and we just try to talk to the officials as much as we can and keep sending them in after the games. But it's a hard job. It's a very, very hard job, and there's a lot going on in these games, and we play at a fast pace, and they do too many games. In my opinion, officials are doing way too many games.
It's a fair point. Remember when you had to come set for a full 1,001 count with the screen, or you were called for a moving screen?
Not happening.
Yeah, no, okay.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for the call, Pat. Jennifer on Twitter at Gary Dolphin. Coach, or does Coach Bluder have any pregame rituals? Well, other than pulling your hair out, what else? Do you have any superstitious rituals that you?
I'm not superstitious. I don't believe in that at all. My staff, we pray together before a game. That is something that I need to have happen before a game. And I have a little thing that I read to myself that kind of gives me comfort before a game. But no, I don't have any superstitions.
All right. Appreciate the call, though. Audrey on Twitter at Gary Dolphin. What were the emotions like after the senior day ceremony in the locker room? I'm from Chicago. I was in tears watching this team. This team means so much to everybody.
Yeah, I mean, the emotions, it was kind of weird because, honestly, we were all split up after the game. The seniors were still out there. I had a group in the locker room, and then Maya Moore was coming in the locker room, and State Farm Jake, and Lynette Woodard, and so I had all these people coming in, and I didn't even have my seniors in there at that point because they were doing media and other things, and so it was kind of it was a very unusual locker room after that game because we weren't all together. The thing that gives us comfort is knowing that it wasn't our last game in Carver Hawkeye Arena.
For sure.
And knowing that we will get to host the first and second rounds of the NCAA tournament. And I think that just gives everybody some peace of mind.
Indeed. Good answer. Thank you for the question from Chicago. Question from the crowd here. And they sent it in on Facebook. I love social media. It's just... Question from the crowd. Will there be a banner hung at Carver in the rafters with the names of the girls who participated in the Final Four last year?
There will not be, but there is a banner. I don't know if you've noticed it or not. Between our retired jerseys of Michelle Edwards and Megan Gustafson, they have hung a Final Four banner. Unfortunately, it wasn't up there at the beginning of the year, but it has been hung up now. And it wasn't a whole lot of fanfare or anything with it. So I hope that you'll all look up there the next time you're in Carver to see that banner that recognizes that we were the national runner-ups last year. What I do, though, every time I have a trophy, like the Big Ten championship trophy, and it says on the bottom, there's usually a metal plate, I always take that metal plate off and I put every woman's name that was on that team I engrave it on that plate and re-put it on there so that they can come back with their children, their grandchildren, and say, see, Mom really was a part of that team.
For sure.
It just gives them a little bit more ownership. So I've always done that, and I think the players really enjoy that they can come back and show it to their kids.
Great idea. Great call, Coach. You're listening to Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder, presented by Oak Knoll from the Hyatt Regency in Coralville. We'll come back in a minute, but first let me tell you about our wonderful friends at Wellmark. Hawk fans, Wellmark, Blue Cross, and Blue Shield knows you're here for every fadeaway, alley-oop, and buzzer beater, and Wellmark is here for every moment, too, every emotional moment included, with trusted healthcare coverage, committed to making healthcare better. Learn more at wellmark.com/hoops. And U.S. Cellular is a proud sponsor of the Hawkeyes. U.S. Cellular wants you to make the most of today by choosing game day traditions first and scrolling later. U.S. Cellular, built for us. This is Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder, presented by Oak Knoll from the Hyatt Regency in Coralville and Learfield.
Did you know that UI uses the same amount of energy as all the rest of Iowa City? That's why we have our own power plant, and we're committed to making it clean. By 2025, we'll rely completely on climate-friendly, alternative fuels. Deep in the boiler rooms, engineers from the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative are optimizing the power plant so it can handle these new fuels more efficiently. Learn more about it at uiowaenergycollaborative.com. That's uiowaenergycollaborative.com.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
To anyone passing through our state, fields and fields of corn might be what they see. But the people who call Iowa home know it's so much more. Corn is ethanol, a homegrown, renewable fuel. Corn is delicious pork, beef, poultry, and dairy. Corn is in 4,000 products we rely on every day. So yeah, our highway views are full of corn, and we're proud of it. Because corn grows Iowa. Show your support for Iowa corn farmers at iowacorn.org/corngrowsiowa.
Our mission at Oak Knoll is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, CEO. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served the Iowa City area for 57 years. Oak Knoll is located near University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hancher Auditorium, and downtown Iowa City. Visit our website at oakknoll.com to learn more. We're a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Go Hawks!
Around here, Jack Frost nips more than just your nose. That's why the Midwest gets Honda. Dependable, all-wheel drive with heated steering wheel and seats to keep Jack Frost off your seat, which will make it very happy. And since it's no fun to gas up in this weather, isn't it cool that Honda has such legendary fuel efficiency? New Hondas are arriving, but so is Mr. Frost, so see your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest.
Hi, it's your friend, social media. You know, where I showcase the cool life of sports stars and friends. But don't fall for the editing and good lighting, because we all have struggles and challenges, like with alcohol or drug use, gambling, or our mental health. You know, talking about it is a sign of strength. Maybe you don't know who to talk to? Your Life Iowa can give you resources or treatment options. Get free 24/7 confidential support. Call, text, or chat online at yourlifeiowa.org. A message from Iowa HHS.
Welcome back to the Hyatt Regency. My goodness, we're running out of time. I'm used to these 90-minute shows. This is only 60? What kind of a softball is this? Welcome back to Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder. We could fill a couple hours tonight, and I say that tongue-in-cheek, but Coach Bluder and the Hawkeyes play again. That's at 5:30 Friday afternoon up in Minneapolis in the Target Center, opening round of the Big Ten tournament against either Wisconsin or Penn State. And you can hear that game right here on the Hawkeye Radio Network starting at 5:15, tip at 5:30. If I may get a shameless plug in here, we got Coach McCaffrey, Coach Fran McCaffrey show coming up right after Coach Bluder's show. We got Evan Bronze. Evan, who transferred in from Belmont in the offseason, young man from Iowa City West High School, all 6'9" of him, 250 pounds. You'll know Evan when he walks in the room, but he's gotten some quality minutes this year as in the post, especially when Owen gets 2 quick fouls. We got to keep that kid on the floor.
Yep.
But the Hawkeye men in Illinois go after each other at 6 o'clock Sunday night here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. And the Hawkeyes still have that postseason heartbeat. Boy, they're playing really well. So wouldn't it be great?
Great win over Northwestern
on
big Saturday.
Time.
That was a huge win.
Yep, that's 5 quad 1 wins now for the Hawks, or 4 at least. But we'll talk more about that later. So stay with us here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Coach, let's bring in Larry here in Iowa City. Larry, we're running short on time, so go ahead, bud.
I want to congratulate the coaches and the team on their success this year. I thought it was really great. But I'm a Gabby Marshall fan, so I wanted to relay a few memories about her. I remember in 2019, at about this time of the year, you said that you had a great three-point shooter coming in from a town called Cincinnati, Ohio. It shows what 5 years can do. And then in a game against Ohio State last year, she scored the first and last point shots in an Iowa rout. She assisted Caitlyn when Caitlyn passed the 3,000-point mark, and she's the one who passed the ball to Caitlyn when she went up for that three-pointer that set the NCAA mark. So she's made, I think, herself a Hawkeye treasure. She continues to shine. So
I agree with you 100%, Larry.
Indeed,
She's unbelievable. We love her. We want a lot more of those threes and great defense from her in the next few games.
I can't remember that far back, Larry, to 2019, but I love those 4 threes she nailed yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
How big were those? Huh?
Big,
man, outstanding.
Especially against her hometown school. Like, she's from Ohio. And so for her to go do that against Ohio State's pretty cool.
Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder brought to you by Oak Knoll. Oak Knoll's mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through Life Care, a not-for-profit life plan community serving Iowa City for 57 years. Oak Knoll is conveniently located near the University of Iowa Hospital and Clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, and those are the most important, Kinnick and Carver, and downtown Iowa City. Proudly presenting a sponsor of Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder. Visit oakknoll.com and learn more. Charles in Illinois. Chuck, you'll be our last phone call tonight. We got just a minute left, so go ahead, Charlie.
Thanks for taking my call.
You bet. Go ahead.
I have just a comment and a quick question. First of all, I want to congratulate Lisa and the entire team for their outstanding work. They show me just how much you have put into growing your team. My question is for Lisa. What are your comments or opinions on the NCAA freezing investigations into the third-party NIL activities?
Well, we only have about a minute, so.
Sorry, we have 30 seconds. Coach.
That's a tough one, and I'm sorry, Charles, we're going to have to come back to that another day. I appreciate you calling in, though, and appreciate your comments, but yeah, the NIL, keep tuned, because every single day it changes, in my opinion, on what's going on with that.
A couple schools in the Southeast have filed a lawsuit against the NCAA, and it's been put on hold. It's been rejected. It's back and forth in the courts, and that's going to go on for a while. You've got the transfer portal, NIL kind of dovetail into each other. It's a mess in a lot of ways. It's very good in a lot of ways in support of the athletes. But, Charles, that's the best we can give you right now.
Sorry.
I want to give you a closing minute here. The winner of Penn State, Wisconsin. You swept the Badgers twice. You beat Penn State in the only meeting. And I'm not going to ask you who you would rather play, but give us a quick scouting report on each since you played them.
Yeah, they're very different teams. That's what's hard to prepare for them. Penn State is an entirely pressing team, and Wisconsin is not. Wisconsin plays really well in the Big Ten tournament, or has so in the past. If seeds hold true, we'll be playing Penn State, and then if seeds hold true, we'll be playing Indiana. That's going to be a battle in the semifinals. That's going to be an amazing game. We split during the year. Each of us won on our home court by about the same amount. So having that game will be amazing. And then if seeds hold true, Ohio State would be coming through in the Ohio State in the championship. So played them last Sunday, play them next Sunday. Who knows? We'll all be exhausted after being up all night anyway. So
that's the Big Ten this year, isn't it? Or every year.
It is. But I just want to take the last few seconds again and thank all of our fans. This year, you guys have been spectacular. We are so thankful for you, and all of you that came out tonight and throughout the season. Thank you so much. You guys really mean a lot to me. I wish I could say that to everybody personally, but just please know you mean a lot to me, and thank you. Thank you.
Great hanging out with you, Coach.
Thanks, buddy.
Hey, good to see you.
Always good to see you.
We'll see you on the iClub circuit, but we'll also see you in Minneapolis. Yeah. All right, Coach Bluder and the Coach Bluder Show, brought to you by Hyatt Regency here in Coralville. Please stop by and Enjoy its freshly renovated spaces. Stay in the new modern guest rooms overlooking the Iowa River. Check out the state-of-the-art fitness center, pool, and family lounge, and the new cafe serving Starbucks. Come discover all these updates at the Hyatt Regency. I'm Gary Dolphin. Stay tuned. I'll be right back with the Fran McCaffrey Show. Good night, everybody.
Hey, Hawkeyes, while your hard-working class are on the court, there's a team behind the scenes making sure that the power keeps going, the water keeps flowing, and the temps inside are just right. Introducing the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative. The collaborative is a public-private partnership between UI, NG, and Meridium. It delivers the funds UI needs to drive our academic and research excellence while optimizing campus utilities for a generation to come. Check it out at uiowaenergycollaborative.com.
To anyone passing through our state, fields and fields of corn might be what they see. But the people who call Iowa home know it's so much more. Corn is ethanol, a homegrown, renewable fuel. Corn is delicious pork, beef, poultry, and dairy. Corn is in 4,000 products we rely on every day. So yeah, our highway views are full of corn, and we're proud of it. Because corn grows Iowa. Show your support for Iowa corn farmers at iowacorn.org/fan of corn.
Bananas are only 39 cents a pound at Hy-Vee. That's not a sale price. That's the price with the Hy-Vee Perks membership. And 39 cents a pound is not just the price today or this week. It's the Perks price every day. With the Hy-Vee Perks membership, you can save on hundreds of products store-wide every time you shop. And count on Perks prices to stay the same. So if you want to pay less for bananas every day, sign up for Hy-Vee Perks. It's free and easy. Some restrictions apply.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through!
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel, good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter-together. Member FDIC.
Nestled on the rolling greens of the iconic Finkbine Golf Course, Bumps Restaurant is open to the public year-round. Whether you're swinging by after a round of golf or just in the neighborhood, Bumps is your go-to spot for scrumptious sandwiches, shareable appetizers, and mouth-watering pizzas. Quench your thirst with our selection of local craft beers. Or let our full bar serve you a refreshing cocktail to toast to your game. Or just because it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Our happy hour from 2 to 6 p.m. is the perfect 19th hole. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram to catch our latest daily specials. And here's a little insider secret just for our radio listeners. Thursdays are not to be missed at Bumps Restaurant. It's BOGO Happy Hour. Buy one, get one free on select beverages from our happy hour menu. Whether you're a diehard golfer or just love a great meal with a view, Bumps Restaurant at Finkbine Golf Course is your destination. We're currently open Wednesday through Saturday. Swing on by today. Bumps at Finkbine Golf Course. Great food, great drinks, and the best views in town. See you at Bumps.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield, this has been Hawk Talk with Lisa Bluder, presented by Oak Knoll, an active life care community, also brought to you by Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Honda. To see how Honda crushes the competition, see your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest. Hy-Vee. Score big savings with the new Hy-Vee Perks membership. Iowa Lottery. Be a VIP with the Iowa Lottery. Visit ialottery.com for details. University of Iowa Healthcare. Changing medicine, changing lives. And by U.S. Bank. Proud to support Iowa basketball. U.S. Bank. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network.